Well, competitiveness is a word about which there's quite a bit of confusion. Competitiveness occurs when both businesses located in a location, a country, a region, can meet the test of international competition, but at the same time, the living standards of the average citizen can be maintained or increased. Two things have to happen at once. Companies have to be able to do well, but workers and citizens and employees have to do well. And in order for those two things to happen, there's only one way, and that's to be productive. You have to create a very productive environment in which workers and companies can produce high-value output. If we could only do one thing, it would be the recommendation on a sustainable budget, where we actually get our fiscal house in order in America. This is just a tremendous overhang in terms of everybody's feeling of uncertainty about the future, because it has everything to do with what tax rates are going to be and how particular programs are going to be cut or not cut. We advocate a Simpson-Bowles type solution. It's going to require new revenue. It doesn't have to require higher rates, but at least it's going to require less deductions and broadening the base of who pays taxes. And it's going to require some meaningful efficiencies in particularly some of our entitlement programs. There's a whole set of other areas. I'd say the next two or three would be the corporate tax system, the high rate with the high level of deductions, which has led to massive complexity. And the U.S. is now managed because Japan finally got around to cutting their corporate tax rate. We now have the dubious distinction of having the highest corporate tax rate in the OECD, and we're paying a tremendous penalty. And actually, even the general public understands the corporate tax problem. So that would be number two. And then the third most frequently measured, voted for or mentioned one when we do surveys and when we talk to people is, maybe surprisingly, but it's the skilled immigration. Give a green card or staple a green card to every graduate degree in any professional or knowledge field. You've already been in the United States, you've already been trained in the U.S. university, you've been vetted, to get to be here as a student. So let's give those people a green card. It's not complicated, it's not a hard thing to do. These areas we thought were eminently doable. There was no basic disagreement about the policy direction among Democrats, among Republicans. We even went around the Congress and the executive branch, and as long as the door was closed, we got Democratic folks would say, oh yeah, these things make sense. The Republicans would say, oh yeah, these things make sense. The executive branch, oh yeah, these make sense. And yet somehow the complicated dance that we go through in Washington, there's some blocker that's holding back every single one of them.